What made you want to do this interview today?
Honestly, curiosity. I'm a people person. I like meeting people. I like talking to people. I actually used to be a therapist, so did a lot of that. Something that I have always wondered about being a first-generation college student is, do you feel a tremendous amount of pressure?
Yes, there is a lot of pressure everywhere. Family, being the role model for your siblings, they expect so much from you. And our community also, they want you to succeed, but they don't understand how hard college is. And it's overwhelming at times, especially routing yourself into college, doing all the documentation and everything is just hard because you have no support system. Yes, there's counselors, but the counselors aren't there 24/7 for you.
Right.
So it's a lot, I would say. As a therapist, how do you separate your religion?
In some ways, they're not separatable because I think part of the reason I had felt so drawn to being a therapist is because I really believed that each human being is just innately important and loved and valued by God. And I feel like that's part of the experience you need in therapy is knowing that your therapist thinks that you're important and cares about you. You want them to grow and be as successful as possible, regardless of whether things in their life align with what I had been taught was good or correct. Tell me about one or two people in your life who have had the biggest influence on you.
I've had a lot of mentors through Saturday sports. Some of them are still in my life. They've always been there for me. Good, bad. They know my whole family. And they've taught me that no matter how oppressed I feel, I can always reach my dreams. And it's emotional. I've always been that person with good grades and everything, but I've always worked so hard to get them. I feel like sometimes I put myself last. They've taught me to put myself first sometimes because it is needed. It's a free space to express myself and know that I'm not being judged.
This is kind of a random aside, but I was actually at Saturday Sports the first months that it existed.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, we could have both been there, and we probably were.
At times, I'm more dedicated to students and the student workers rather than volunteers. And I'm thankful for this just because we got to sit down and communicate a little bit more.
I honestly don't encounter the other volunteers very often either. And I have a log with the other person who's in my classroom. So I've never met Vanessa, but we leave each other notes about the kiddos that we both work with. I was excited to meet you, both because I suspected our lives would look different in a lot of ways, but also ENP is just such a great organization, and it's always fun to connect with people who are passionate about similar things. I'm assuming you'd really benefited from Saturday Sports and maybe wanted to give back in the same way.
Yes, definitely. I would say that is why I am here. Also, a lot of student workers have been through the program as well.
Which I feel like really speaks volumes about the organization, that people who have engaged with the programs want to go back and keep this going.
Definitely. Hopefully these new generations keep it going.
Do the same. Yeah.